is my honor, my deep honor, and my delight to present the 2017 Outfest Los Angeles Achievement Award to Mr. Bryan Fuller.
Because I got the things. I love Kristen Chenoweth so much, and I love the word queer. If I had a disorder where I saw words as people, I think I would see the word queer as Vincent Price in a cape on The Muppet Show. I remember the first time I was called queer. My oldest brother referred to me and my other brother as queer and queer bait, respectively. I thought I should be the queer bait. I was the youngest, and it stood to reason that would make me more desirable. Also, I was a really clever child, and my brother was fairly common. Yet, I had been designated the queer, and my brother the bait. Bait for what? I couldn't imagine. The queer, I suppose, but the queer didn't want him even as a 4-year-old. I knew I could do better. My oldest brother may have pegged me for a queer, but he certainly didn't understand my sophisticated taste in bait. If you wanted to bait and trap this queer preschooler, you needed Carol Burnett or Charles Nelson Riley. When I could finally read, I remember looking up the word queer and being very pleased with what I found, since I had been told I was one. I thought, who wouldn't want to be queer? Every synonym was something I aspired to be. Strange, unusual, peculiar, all of them an achievement in their own right. An achievement shared by every filmmaker and storyteller represented at Outfest. So I share this award with all the other achievers here tonight, but I'm taking it home. Outfest itself is a massive queer achievement, one that I'm grateful for particularly now, they gave me this, and also for the forum that they provide queer representation and storytelling for 35 years. It's an amazing achievement. I'm not going to say I deserve an achievement award, but here's why it was a good idea this year. Exposition is my least favorite part of my job, but unfortunately in this instance, a necessary evil. Hear me out. The first show I created was called Dead Like Me, and it was about a young woman, thank you. It was about a young woman named George who is dead and becomes a Grim Reaper. As a proud homosexual, I wanted to represent queer characters. George's father was gay, and as the product of a gay person who bred despite better instincts, George's life was an even greater miracle, and that she lost it so young, an even greater tragedy. Mandy Patinkin's monologue would write itself, except it didn't. The studio and the showrunner made the character straight, and I was powerless to stop them. I know, boo-hoo, they were dicks, whatever, moving on. The second show I co-created with Todd Holland was called Wonderfalls, and it was about, thank you, it was about a young woman named Jay who is dead inside and becomes a tool of fate, or she doesn't, and it's just crazy. As proud homosexuals, Todd and I wanted to represent a queer character. Jay's sister was a Republican lesbian played by the wonderfully queer but not yet gay Katie Finneran, who apparently immaculately conceives a child only to discover she got pregnant when she scissor-sistered her girlfriend after she had sex with her ex-husband. It would write itself, except it didn't. We couldn't show lesbians kiss, much less imply they had sex, much less scissor-sister sex with semen. Rupert Murdoch, I know, what a dick. Moving on. I had a brief stint on Heroes where the gay character was het-washed, you can hashtag that now, was het-washed after the actor's management threatened to pull him from the show if he, the character, not the actor, were gay. The character became straight and the actor came out as gay. The third show I created was called Pushing Daisies. And thank you. And it was about a young woman named Chuck who is dead and brought back to life by her childhood love, only to discover he can never touch her again. Because I'd been thwarted twice before in telling gay stories with gay characters on shows I created, I decided the show itself should be gay. Pushing Daisies is the gayest thing I've ever done, and not just a little gay. It was such a deep-set, stubborn gay stain, it could never be scrubbed out. You can't scrub out that gay or het wash it. Not with icons like Kristen Chenoweth, Ellen Green, Swoosie Kurtz, and Beth Grant saturating every fiber. Most wouldn't know how gay Pushing Daisies was because the gay was never sexualized. It was simply queer, and therefore queer bait. As a proud homosexual, this felt still like a failure to represent. Even though most everything about Pushing Daisies was gay, there were no openly gay characters or gay relationships. Systemically gay, aesthetically gay, but not narratively gay. The fourth show I created, I keep creating shows because they keep getting canceled. The fourth show I created homoeroticized the Hannibal Lecter character from the Thomas Harris novels. Thank you. But it didn't exactly homosexualize him, but there was almost a kiss before he fell into the sea with the man he loved, close but no cigar, and sometimes a cigar is a penis, and in this case it was Hugh Dancy's penis. We did have lesbians covered, though, and I did get my Scissor Sister sex scene on broadcast television. Thank you, Bob Greenblatt, Jennifer Salke, and NBC. Lesbians have always been easier to cover than gay men. Frightened middle America and heterosexuals assume since there's no penis, there's no penetration, and that's somehow less terrifying for them, like a penis is the only thing you can poke with. Am I right, ladies? I was 4 television series into a career as an openly gay man and showrunner and had yet to tell a story about an openly gay man. And then Neil Gaiman wrote a book. The 5th show I co-created with a charming, open-minded heterosexual man based on a novel called American Gods, also by a charming, open-minded heterosexual man. American Gods is about, among other things, a woman named Laura who is dead and brought back to life by a leprechaun's lucky coin. On her journey across America, she meets a devout Muslim man named Salim, who is gay. 14 years after being powerless to keep the first gay character I created from turning straight, I got to be part of telling Salim's story. It wasn't a time to be delicate about poking. Salim is a gay Muslim immigrant. He comes from a part of the world that tosses homosexuals from rooftops because of God. His story is about a demigod giving a man permission to be himself and to enjoy sex and allow himself to be made love to. Telling Salim's story isn't the gayest thing I've ever done on TV, it's the most human. Yes? Yes, there were boners and anal penetration and flaming ejaculation, but it wasn't pornographic. It was art. And that was an achievement, not just for me personally, but for everyone involved in American Gods. It was an achievement for a studio and a network that didn't blink when Michael Green and I told them just how explicitly we wanted to tell Salim's story. Thank you, Fremantle and Stars. It was an achievement for Omid Abtahi and Musa Quresh, 2 heterosexual Middle Eastern actors who didn't hesitate in dedicating themselves to telling the story faithfully and authentically. Thank you, Omid, and thank you, Musa. Most importantly, it was our achievement as a creative community because telling his story, Salim's story, met with no corporate obstacles, no personal obstacles. It was simply told as vividly as we could tell it with total support. Good for us. Now that's a queer achievement. Thank you very much.